What is going on? Today we're just going to kind of, I had a few minutes here and I'm writing an article about it. I'm like, you know what, maybe I'll just step into the podcast room and just talk about it really quick and see if people like that. I like to write, I like to read, but a lot of people like to listen to things. So I just wanted to kind of walk through what's been happening in the real estate market within the Twin Cities and surrounding suburbs, at least what I've been experiencing, right? Because you can get all these numbers from, the news and all these big data points, but one of the most powerful things is like a real estate agent who's actually out there buying and selling properties in this exact market, because we get a really big pulse on exactly how buyers and sellers are actually operating outside of all the data. And so one thing that's probably surprising to you is that our interest rates are between 7.5% and 8%. 7.5% on average, right? You have premium credit that are, low sevens probably, and then you have the everything in between up to 8, right? As credit and your file goes down. But, I put a listing on the market last Friday, and I think we had 14 or 15 showings and 7 offers, 7 really good offers, and everything in between. So like we had first-time home buyers, we had move-up buyers, and everything in between. So it's like the buyer pool, everybody is out there. It wasn't like just these people. Now on the listing side of things, we've been seeing some move-up sellers, the folks who are, selling their home and upgrading it for something nicer, but we've not seen a ton of them. So some of them, not a ton. We've seen a lot of people who are, downsizers, people who, older generation, a lot of boomers who no longer have a need for their home. They're either moving into, long-term, retirement communities, or they're getting into something that's more manageable, or they're relocating, to states like Florida, and they're going to do, the honeymoon, or what's the word for that? Not honeymoon, whatever, you know what I'm talking about, when you spend, half in Florida, half here, especially in the state of Minnesota, we have almost 9% state tax, right? So doing, 6 months in one day in Texas can save you 9%. So we're seeing a lot of that. We're, of course we're seeing divorces, and we're seeing a lot of relocation sellers. So that's who you're seeing for sellers. Some move ups, a lot of downsizers, boomers, and we're also snowbirds. That's the word, snowbirds. Relocations, divorces, distressed sales, right? That's a lot of our sellers out there right now. And I guess those are always the sellers. It's just a matter of like where it's balanced out. Anyway, so a lot of buyer activity, and we're going into the slow season, fall through winter. It's typically the slow season, and typically real estate agents, like, yeah, we still sell some houses in the fall and winter time. Like we'll have, definitely have some sales, but a lot of our efforts are just connecting with people, getting to know them, and really starting to set people up to get their houses ready to sell in the new year. So we're starting to hear things like, let's wait until the holidays are done, that, and the other thing. And so a lot of prep work is going in right now. I guess you can do some green photographs, like you're taking a picture of your properties where it's still green, not really green anymore, but we still have some beautiful fall. That would be maybe worthwhile for some photos, but a lot of prep work going into the next year so that when you hit the spring, you hit the ground running, you're ready to go. So that's kind of what's going on in the marketplace. Still churning, still moving, lots of buyer activities. Sellers, if you're selling, and if you have to, a lot of buyers out there to pick up the pieces right now, and you're going to get maximum value right now because multiple offers are still out there. So I guess, as always, move if you want to or if you need to. Both of those things. There's always people who are buying and selling real estate. And if you happen to be one of the people who fit into one of those categories where I really want to move or I really need to move, let's communicate and let's talk. If you want to move, step one is, can you afford it? Does it make sense? So we make sure that the next house that you move to, 30-year fixed mortgage with a down payment that matches your lifestyle, and a payment that matches your income exceptionally well. So if those things match, then we can move forward. So we have to afford it though first. So, all right, guys, talk to you soon.